Okay. Okay. We're back. We're done. Here we go. Let's start with a little rugby here. It's the last day of Frogtember. Oliver, hello, welcome in. Everyone's doing well today. Should be a pretty chill stream. It is Friday. We're going to finish up the list from Tuesday. I'm a big fan of just this like silhouetted nondescript limbs. They feel very like Tim Burton. It always make me happy. I had a brief moment of like, is my microphone on? I think it is. I think we're good. Do a little Tim Burton rugby today. Haven't done one of those in a while. It should probably be a little longer if I wanted to do that, but that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Test. Okay. Yeah. I think it's just going to be a quiet, chill day. Did want people to suggest fan art this week, but we didn't get much of that. We got a Mayo Nene, so that was fun on Wednesday. Ba-doop-a-doop-doo. I'll have to read that later. Oh, I lost the chat. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. Terrified rugby always seems a little... This was supposed to be exhausted rugby, but he looks very scared. It's almost October. That's okay. This is a good pen size. What size is this? 7. 7's a good number. Moniker, hello, hello. Welcome in. It is Friday. I hope it's Friday. I'm pretty sure it's Friday. Those of you just joining us, what we do is we sketch and doodle suggestions from the chat. We choose which ones to draw by rolling the dice. Let the dice gods decide. I'm warming up with a rugby sketch. It's a good way to get all of the pen lines and stuff ready to go. Nice little warm up. And then we'll get into the draw. Get into the free draw. We haven't done a free draw yet. Maybe we should do a free draw next month. First of next month, let people draw with us in Discord. That could be a lot of fun. Isn't that the same guy you suggested on Wednesday that we drew last week? Or is this a different character? I need to draw more mandolins. It's a different one. This guy was Victorian. My man is 1950s-ish. Ah. Put it on the list. Put it on the list. Okay, it's on there. All right. I kind of want to do one more rugby sketch real quick, just to. Maybe we'll try a different shape. I like it when rugby's nose is higher than his eyeballs. I think it's funny. Small rugby, yeah. Do you think his eyeballs should stick out like that? With 3/4? So many questions. What shape doth a rugby's head actually be? That's very disturbing. Kind of upsetting. It's like somewhere between a koala and a shark. feel like his nose should be the thing that's in the way all the time. How do pugs do? How do you draw a pug? That's what rugby should look like. There we go. That did it. Just gotta remember this is a sock puppet. The truck is back up and working now. That's exciting. So I can actually go places and do things. Oops. I think I'm drawing on the wrong layer. The more you look at rugby from the side, the scragglier it gets. Vanilla ice cream from the bucket. That's either really enjoyable or a call for help. I'm not sure which. I have done that in the past. Okay. I think I'm happy with that rugby. That level of scratchiness is something I can work with. I think I'm warmed up now. Bleep. You always look silly. Taste. It's fun. Gotcha. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this started. Do the first one. I'm gonna let the chat keep going for a little bit with the thing, and we'll just start with a red. And if people want to vote for purple, that's totally fine. Next one. I think people are confused because I started on time today. It never happens. It never happens. I rolled a 7. Let's see what a 7 gets us. Small little frog gunslinger. Upholds. I assume it's supposed to say upholds the law, but it just says upholds the in his puddle. Little tiny frog gunslinger. I dig it. Everybody's having a good week so far. I just made the pen bigger, which I don't want to do. Put that over here. Did it again. 7. We're gonna keep 7. Should we do a round frog or like a gripply? They did say frog, not gripply. There's not a whole lot of difference. The gripply are just like poison tree frogs, so they're a little thinner. Or we could do something more like Mr. Toad. A tongue slinger, if you will. Tongue slinger would be pretty fun. All the floof and the mischief, yeah. We'll give it another one here. How are you doing today? Kirby the Frog here. This one almost looks like a whale. A really tiny whale. Frog Thor is pretty good. Maybe we should use Frog Thor. Imagine having to taste gunpowder a lot. Well, I mean, you wouldn't shoot your tongue. Unless you're like holding the gun with your tongue. I would assume you just like whip people in the face with it. May have to leave later, so I'm going to enjoy the chill vibes while I can. Yeah, no problem, Monica. Bears are effective? Oh, a bear and an animal version of a simple but effective claws and teeth. Oh, is the version of simple but effective. I mean, bears are... I mean, lots of things have claws and teeth. Bears are pretty well specialized to be omnivores. Partially from their size. They're real big. But, yeah, I suppose you could go. Right, Cat? Yeah, I guess you don't get much simpler than a bear. Pretty straightforward. Big, poofy muscles. Ooh, Skeep Cat, your breath is real bad. Just in case my character gets accepted, I was inspired by Millie from Hell of a Boss, who's an imp. That would be cool to mention. Gotcha. And Sierra from Dragon Age Inquisition. I don't think I ever actually played any of the Dragon Age games. I have a lot of friends who did, and I watched some of them play them, but I don't think I ever actually played one. Nope. Thinner. Thinner lips. There's something weird about my pen tablet that I can't like grab and move things around on my browser. He's very weird. Ugh. Okay. From Origins to Inquisition, it's a good old time. I remember Origins having a lot of like drama when it released, but I think it was just because it was made cheaply. Yeah, my friends played that game for a long time. I think I've talked about Hell of a Boss too. I think it's this generation's Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. Or Invader Zim. Wish you. We'll get rid of the whale frog. This bad boy over here. I almost made the pen bigger. Almost did it again. Are Coke floats any good? I've never had one. I was wondering if I should try it. I mean, yeah. It's not as good as a root beer float because root beer is a little more. How would I describe root beer? It's a little sharper. Cokes get the Coca-Cola has that kind of weird vanilla-y flavor. And I don't think it works as well because it's just vanilla on vanilla. But the vanilla really makes a root beer float way better. So. See if we can get like a neckerchief in here. Root beer has a more balanced vanilla flavor, yeah. I mean, you can put anything fizzy you want on ice cream, especially when it's like most sodas are just essentially very simple syrups. So pretty much anything you put on ice cream is going to make it taste good, but root beer floats are just like a really nice combo. Especially if you get like homemade root beer. Oh, so good. So good. I gotta figure out what I'm making for Christmas this year. Last year I did hard cider. I might do hard cider again. Could do root beer though. That could be interesting. I have no opinion of Ohio. The only thing I know about it is that Drew Carey likes it. Is Drew Carey still relevant? Or is he just the guy that owns the Batmobile? Has anybody looked into the new, is it races? Or new monsters? Shoot, I don't remember. There's some still cool stuff coming out for 5e. Oh, that's right, that Minecraft stuff. Has anyone tried out the Minecraft D&D yet? Meow, meow, meow. The cats have become super spoiled over the last week. I had family in town, and my family just kept feeding them treats. Now the cats think that they get fed like 6 times a day. Which is not the case. No, you must wait. You must wait, Skip Cat. Yeah. You gotta wait a little bit.
Oh, but if I asked.
The state has an Ohio unscented candle. That's weird. That's just a candle. Keep cat, you know you gotta wait. You gotta wait, buddy. Oh boy. I kinda wonder if he thinks he gets treats when I stream because I used to give him treats when people paid for them. And now he just thinks that when I start streaming, he gets treats. This could be the case. This could be the case. I asked people through a YouTube short to suggest rugby costumes. Got a few suggestions. Might have to do a stream next month just for rugby costumes. Scrumbad, hello, hello. Scumbad, sorry. Scrumbad. I like Scrumbad too. I'm having a good Friday. I am having a good Friday. You're doing well. So far, so good. Drawing some frogs. Oh, Skeep Cat, you sound so sad. Has anybody played a grung before? Or a gripply? I should make a gripply for Pathfinder 2nd edition. I should make a gunslinger for Pathfinder 2nd edition. That could be really fun. Hello, Skip Cat. Do not climb up on the desk. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know you're thinking about it. Don't do it, though. I think I might have to feed this cat. I think you might have won me over. I sometimes give him tuna flakes, and it's his favorite thing. Is the tuna flakes. I once tried to make him like dashi with it, just like fish water. He did not like it. He likes the flakes. Which I guess is his prerogative. That's fine, right? I really do want to find somebody that's played the Minecraft D&D. Wondering if they actually spent some time on it or if they just, cash grab. I'm very wary about WotC right now. They did make a new ice card for Magic the Gathering, which I'm always a fan of. And apparently there's supposed to be some new new squirrels next year. So I'm excited for that. Squirrel cards are good cards. Yeah, Peepop? Alright. Yes. The spoiled little man gets what he wants. I'll be right back. I'm gonna give this cat some treats. Come on, let's get cat. You want the tuna fish? Tuna fish? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I have too much hair. I need to get a haircut. Oh, where'd the pen go? Should we amp up the music? Get a little different stuff going on? Oh, my spine. Honestly, when I said that people could do fan art this week, I thought people would be making me draw the Minecraft monsters. But nope. Lucked out. Maybe next week. That's an interesting idea. We could just do Fan Art October. Because that way people could have me draw costumes. Bugbear's dressed up as Batman. That could be fun. Haircuts are lies, you never need one. I mean, my hair gets pretty shaggy. I start looking like Mark Hamill if I'm not careful. I've had a mohawk for 20 years. It's too hard to try to change now. Over the dark times of 2020, I let my hair grow for like almost a year without any kind of haircut, maybe 2 years. So I had pretty long shaggy hair. I don't know if I took any pictures of myself like that, but it was long. It was like, I guess it was just shoulder length, but I had a man bun. But it was a mohawk originally, and then it just became a man bun. Man buns are lazy mohawks. I feel like I'm in burning, by the way. If you'd like to join the draw, you're welcome to. But also don't have to. I think I'm about done with this Froggo. I'm trying to find good colors. Like, what are good opposite colors for... Maybe orange? Maybe orange would work. Part of the reason I'm doing this is to, like, get better with color theory. Druid is freaking the boss at this, so... I never know if the line should follow the contours or go against them. No, if I feel like if I go against them, it's just gonna look like hair. So I think I need to follow the contours of the lines. Just let it kind of echo out. Got some stuff to take care of, no problem. We'll toss in suggestions through the science. Fan art is an option. That's true. That is very true. Since fan art. Got a bit of an undercut. Nice. Undercuts are just half a mohawk. So I approve. Undercuts are always approved. One of the suits from Bubblegum Crisis? Are you talking about like the robots or the like the weird puffy jumpsuits that the lady wears? Or am I thinking of something else? I'm thinking of Appleseed. I don't actually. I'll have to look up Bubblegum Crisis. They're similar. They're similar, yeah. Same time. Oh, that's cool. It's like Mega Man. Yeah, Mega Man suits. I dig it. I can do that. I'm pretty sure it's the same animation studio that did Appleseed, and Appleseed might have just been one movie though. I don't know. I don't think I ever watched either of those, but they both existed at the movie theater that I worked at. I worked at a Hollywood Video for a while, and I remember seeing both of those, and it's just like, those are really cool. Those are really cool movie covers, and I never actually saw them. It's on the list. Yeah, so if I let it get a little too scratchy, it does start looking weird. So there's definitely like a consistency if I want to do this kind of line work. Druid does some fun stuff with like blending it, so maybe I need to make it a little softer instead of just a hard line. I don't know. Yeah, 90s anime sci-fi vibes. Yep. Which I dig. Which I dig. Maybe also it just shouldn't be scribbly. Maybe it should be very deliberate. Less is more sometimes, people. Less is more. You know what? He's a gunslinger. Let's make this like a reticle. That's something that always kind of bummed me out. I guess there's not a lot of like firearms and stuff in D&D, but like some kind of magical scope would be pretty cool. You could like put it on a bow. Magnification scope. Maybe his eyes should be orange. We can make him bright yellow. See what happens when I make him yellow. Let me make him pop a little more. Now it just looks muddy, but that's okay. We'll clean it up. Maybe a little yellow in here. I'm slowly working my way to just doing like full color, which is probably a bad idea. You happy, cat? Skip cat? Yeah, he's good. Maybe I should pick the paper and then go lighter. Instead of having white, and I have like the little bit of the diffuse from the paper itself. That kind of works. Dig that. Let's do that. Let's do it a little lighter. A little less opaque. Give that another go. Got a new monster book from a Kickstarter. Nice. Which one was it? The cat sits on the radiator. Nice. Happy cats. Okay. I think we're done with this one. Maybe we can do a little more. The softer edge, actually, maybe that's my problem. I was doing a little bit more of a tighter pencil. Maybe this really should be just kind of a softer haze to make it pop from the background. Just worry more about like general shape instead of anything else. We're experimenting, we're playing, we're trying stuff. See how it goes. That's alright. I've been trying to reread Journey to the Center of the Earth, and it's not great. It's not good. It's not a great book. It's intellectually interesting, but it's a really slow, kind of boring read. Bullfrog has 2 teeth. Interesting. MCDF? Is that the name of the book? Flee Mortals from MCDF? I might have to check that out. I don't know what that is. All right. I'm done with this bad boy. Let's roll for the next one. Thor. Adric Moreu? A-D-R-I-K. I don't know. A modern, well-dressed vampire CFO who looks upon the world with disdain. Okay. Vampire in a suit. What color are we doing today? What do we got? The purple. The purple. There we go. Roma Solo, hello. How long will be on today? Probably for another at least 2 hours. Probably hang out till 2. Maybe a little longer. I'm trying to take my time and just hang out today, so who knows? Let me drink some more water though. That'll keep me going. All right. For the pen. back down to normal size. Vampire. Vampire, eh? I want to do something very tall. We're going to go slender. Maybe a little angular on the head. Might be worth looking up some sweet suits. Ooh, that one looks cool. I was gonna say suits are boring, and then I found a cool one. There are a lot of boring suits. Should we do more of a cartoony head since this is a vampire? Maybe make them a little taller than they should be. Little point of your chin. Whoops. I want to close the chat. What do you think makes somebody look like a CFO? I believe is the Chief Financial Officer. Maybe more of a I was gonna say grumpy look, but that's not stern. You do stern. You're a fan of the 1915s? Honestly, I could not tell you what style that is. I could only think of like doozies with their little caps and like actual fedoras. I think it'll like Leave It to Beaver. How old are ties? How long have ties been around? That's too long. Slight comb over is good. A ledger? That could be, yeah, that's not a bad one. Do accountants like carry their ledgers around though? I feel like they would leave that in the office. Oh, there's 2 lines there. Okay. There we go. You have the shirt collar, the vest collar, and then the jacket collar, and they all kind of come to the same point. Which can be troublesome. Try to distinguish those with different texture. Suits, shirts, ties, hats are too vague. I mean, that was it, wasn't it? Maybe a pen in a vest pocket if you want fine detail. Imagine they had something to sign. That's not a bad idea. I like that. Man, suits, shirts, and ties is not comfy to me. These are made well. If all you want is like well-made clothes, I can see that. Fast fashion is definitely a blight. I'm very much of the... I generally won't buy something that I wear only once. I was talking to Jump Rope about this the other day of like the only way we participate in fast fashion is like cosplay. Like if we go to a convention or something, it's like, okay, yeah, I've bought a costume, but generally I don't throw it away when you're done with it, you know? Like it's a costume for many uses. That's about as close as we get. But yeah, I generally won't buy something unless I can wear it for like more than 6 months. And I usually run my clothes into the ground until I have to buy new stuff. So definitely on board for better made clothes. I do need to find a way to make suits and ties more interesting when they come to character design, because they are very one note for me right now. Western, I think I drew a frog. I think that's it. They should have gone higher collar. I watched the what was it? Last Last Voyage of the Demeter. That was really good. I like that. Even though, like, for some reason it got really bad reviews. But that was some good. That was some good vampire fun. Clip or jewel in the middle. Give him like a tie clip. That's not bad. That helped a little bit. I only wear my parka for 4 months a year, but I'm glad I have it. Yeah. But most of my characters in trench coats and hats. Yeah, trench coats are more one note than a suit. I've definitely gone the trench coat route. But there are a lot of blank panel, which is why I like dusters or overcoats a little more than trench coats, because they have a little bit more shenanigans on them. But yeah, just long swaths of cloth, which can be good. Like, it can be really good for a character, like to fit for a character. But like from design aspect, I'm always trying to find ways to make them more interesting. Find ways to add to them. This pose is bad. This pose is bad for this vampire man. He's very intro looking, and I want his head up a little higher. I think we might start over. I think we did a good start. I think we might start over here. Get something a little more like this. And a monk who is never in a shirt and didn't even wear pants. Just had a naked monk all the time. Trench coats are universally cool looking, but also hard to make bad. You mean like they just like actually produced? Can't buy a bad trench coat. I think that the trench coats are all about like the fabric. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I like this much better. All right. Sorry, vampire boy. You're done. 1930 fashion is what the modern day person would call suits, but interesting. I had a large green wool overcoat. Gotcha. I'm not a big fan of the giant hat. Giant floral hats on women. I think the 20s was the tiny hat, but I don't know for sure. I think of flapper dresses and little tiny hats. You have basic ideas for your characters. The most cliche and cool thing to wear during a detective story. I think it really just depends on where you come from. Like Sherlock had a trench coat and with the deer. What was it called? Deer hunting hat? No, it doesn't seem right.
Stalker cap?
Because he was supposed to be a hunter. Deer stalker? Is that what they're called? Oop, we gotta go back to this. Click on this, click on that. Deer stalker hat, yeah. I remember wanting a trench coat when I was like in high school, but then they became you're not allowed to wear them at school. I was like, oh, all right, cool. Now I don't know if I'd wear one. I might wear a leather duster. That could be fun. I don't know if I'd do the wool trench coat. Yeah, I thought trench coats were length they wear to keep mud off your crap. Looks like a maitre d' now. What screams? This coat is too thick. Let's get rid of that. Let's have this be an open coat. How about that? That might help. Yep, I think that helps. think I'm just gonna call this one here. I'm not really sure what else to do with it besides just add like a lot of texture. Could make the ledger a little. Well, let's get rid of the ledger. I don't like the ledger. It's a little strange. It was a good idea, but in practice, I didn't like it. Tie clip. Still like the hand being up. This is a good exercise for me drawing clothes because it's really easy to just not do it. It always looks so rigid. So rigid. Ba, 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 ba. How many buttons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, okay. Gucci. This comes up where the fold ends. We got the little pocket. Got the little pocket and the breast of the coat. Pops up over the sleeve. We have a number of sleeves cut in here. That looks pretty good. Maybe some cufflinks. Some fancy cufflinks. I think that's about where we're going to call it for this guy. More texture. I'm the night accountant. Does that make him look too much like a werewolf? I think we'll go with that. I think we'll call that one good. All right. Roll some dice. I can imagine him opening the door of a haunted house. A female shapeshifter soul knife rogue with human head and torso, the rest of werefox ancestry. Shifter soul knife. Alright, we're doing green. I forgot that I was supposed to be doing writing these names down.
That was quite a mouthful.
Yeah. Human head and torso, and the rest werefox ancestry. So it's a lady with paws, I guess. That's good. Okay. I'm glad he reads a little more like a vampire. Let me end the poll real quick. Do. We'll start a new poll. Picture a not fully transformed werefox. Because the shifter race essentially gives you control over your limbs, right? I think that's the best way to look at it. I'll do like really poofy hair.
Yes, but they don't fully transform.
Yeah, okay. What kind of clothes should we put on a shifter? I guess it's a soul knife. We might want to do something more rogue-like. Do something like this. I wanted to have kind of pointy ears. A little floof. Just a little floof. I always think the soul knives are a little more ninja-esque than not.
Since they aren't supposed to, like, they're hiding weapons, right? Like, that's the main thing I always focus on. In the book, they look like hairy humans.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one. 'Cause at that point, they're just like dog people. Cores, welcome in. I'm gonna try to go. I want to go frizzy. I want fox hair to be kind of frizzy. They are animal people though. Okay, that's fair. But they're cursed animal people. I guess I feel like the way I feel like they should look is almost maybe I have that wrong. Maybe I have that wrong. Because they're supposed to have lycanthrope blood in their veins, right? Like, it's not. So to me, I feel like they should have animal traits. But I don't know if that just makes them look like wolf people, you know? Maybe I'm being too specific? Pedantic? Maybe I'm just being too critical. Kind of foxes have little white socks, right? Little black socks? I can't remember. Yeah, okay. See, I think that's pretty good. Right? Like that is very much that's better than just saying fuzzy humans. I think that's the 4E shifter looks pretty good. They look more animalistic than not. We're gonna go pretty poofy hands here. If you're a shifter and a soul knife, do you have like psychic claws? That picture you posted of the 5e shifter, does the guy turn into the beagle? Is that what happens? They should have some animalistic traits like stripes or long claws or nails. Having someone like a weregoat be stronger because of them eyes. Which having someone like a weregoat be strange because of them eyes. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a really fun way to do it. Like having bestial eyes. That's actually not a bad picture. That's not the picture I remember for the shifters. So who knows? Psychic claws would be awesome. Yeah. I think I might have just been giving him too much of a hard time. I think it's just a companion? Okay. I don't want her arms to be big. Wolves have tiny, thin little arms, so... I said wolves, foxes. So I think we'll go more slender.
Humans are the running animal. Even horses, cheetahs, etc. We can outrun them purely by making the race long enough. True endurance runners. Yeah.
We good at walking. We got that 2-leg thing going for us. Well, I don't think I want to draw the bipedal legs. Or the digigrid legs. Just because it's going to take a lot of space. A lot of space. What should I do for the soul knife? Try to show off that she's a soul knife, besides the ninja costume. What do you guys think? Should we do some like psychic claws? Psychic fangs? I guess I could draw some leg. Some furry thighs. Sweating is a good adaptation.
I think the real issue with shifters is their name. I think Beastkin or Wear Touch would have been better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. The shifter really makes it seem like they're like able to shift into creatures. What if Druid was a race? Like, that's not what this is. I got the hiccups. What the hell? Rare creatures always have my attention. Something about uncontrollable power and transformation is alluring to me. Yeah, rare creatures are pretty cool. Cosmic. I'm a big fan of the like shape changers. I think are great. That's fine. Like people that can shift into animals and stuff. Like the I like the idea of the were creature. Like the cursed individual loses its ability to be human. I think that's great. So I think that's more interesting than the shape changes, but I do think shape changes are fun. One of these days I'll probably play Druid. Maybe. Who knows? But he's just a druid. Is what it is. Druids are cool. Ooh, I like that. Kind of just like roughly following the outline instead of leaving a little bit of space. Okay. I dig it. Choppy. Choppy is best. Should she have a tail? Probably not. I was playing, I'm sorry, I wasn't playing. Kevin the Necromancer was running a campaign. And his players run into some people at the bar. And they rolled a really high perception. He's like, you can tell, you're pretty sure these guys are werewolves. And they immediately murdered them. And it was just like, no questions, no discussion. They just straight up killed these guys because they thought they were werewolves. And Kevin the Necromancer was like, well, those guys were supposed to give you a quest, but okay. So that's a thing that you might now have to deal with. And I thought that was really funny. See you later, Moniker. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. I think I'm going to call this one. This one's good. So yeah, there's definitely some stigma on weird creatures. It's a disease. It's a curse.
Or a blessing from the nature gods.
Or a blessing, yeah.
I'm not saying that to like argue a point. I'm just saying narratively that could also be a thing, possibility for people.
One of the suits from the bubblegum crisis. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do burnings here.
Bubblegum crisis?
Yeah, it's an old school one. What color are we doing? Blue. It makes me think of Mega Man. There's a picture when you typed into Google of just like somebody's brain in a jar.
Okay.
I have no idea what's going on in this.
Weird.
Are they robots? I like the helmet design, so we're gonna go with that. What's my plan for the future? That is a good question.
Never heard of this.
Survive. It's always my plan for the future.
Me to survive, but only just barely.
Go for that, like, I was gonna say apocalyptic chic. Always looking for the next next bit of gasoline.
Because of the video I watched earlier, it's like no, like a golden age disaster empire, like the Byzantine Empire.
Okay.
But you wouldn't have got it, so.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that.
Like, always succeeding, but only just barely.
It's kind of how I live my life right now. Let's hope that crop comes in, otherwise we die. That's gotta be, like, that's terrifying. Like, right now, it's like, oh no, the price of eggs went up. But, like, what if all the chickens just died? No. I just, that's the last, like, economic crisis I had to deal with. Like, that very apparently impacted me, because I eat a lot of eggs, and all of a sudden it was like $7 a dozen.
Yeah.
It's like, well, not eating eggs for a while. But I have other options, so it's like, that's fine. But if that was your only option, that would suck. Like, I guess we're eating grass?
I mean, it's what people did in the Great Depression.
Yep. Acorn pie.
Oh. I don't know if that was ever a thing, but...
Well, not the Great Depression.
Out.
No, there are some old like European recipes for acorn stuff.
Okay. I know they were like out in the yards, like eating dandelion greens. Which now, if you try to eat a dandelion green salad, it will cost you about $30.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's. I think that's a thing that people do.
Yeah.
Is arugula dandelions? That's my question.
I don't think so, but possibly related.
My grandmother used to make dandelion wine.
Arugula is more spicy than dandelions.
Gotcha.
Dandelions are just kind of bitter.
Yeah, my family used to eat dandelions all the time. and I never had to. But my grandmother had like recipes for them, and made wine and stuff out of them.
Mm-hmm. If you somehow manage to dig up the roots, you can dry them out and grind them into a coffee substitute.
Interesting.
Or mix it in with your existing coffee to lengthen it out.
Gotcha. I don't want to say I'm fixing some of this anatomy, but like, oh, this is a weird design. This is a very weird design. So I think I might take my own approach to it.
Ooh. So, did you watch Castlevania yet?
Is there a new Castlevania out?
Yeah, the Nocturnal.
Oh, is it on Netflix?
Nocturne. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have Netflix anymore.
Ah.
I'll have to wait.
It probably only will be on Netflix unless someone will let you borrow theirs.
Yeah. I'll wait until I visit my family or something and watch it on Netflix.
Yeah. There are only 8 episodes, but they were all released at once, so that's always a good thing.
What do you think?
They also seem a bit longer
That's good.
than like the normal. I think they're 30 minutes, so like, while most anime shows are like 22 minutes, so there's like an extra couple minutes added onto it.
Very Ray Bradbury? Oh, building a cabin. I actually don't know who Ray Bradbury is. Aztec punk setting, huh?
That's kind of what the newest Predator movie was.
I mean,
Everybody's dying
the
off.
Aztec society was already pretty punk.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was getting at. It's just like, especially at the point where you had diseases and people coming in and taking over.
Yep.
I'm going to start over. I'm going to start over.
Oop, and Aggie crashed. Cool. Found a big evil guy. A black dragon. Spitting acid everywhere.
I mean, I like black dragons.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I don't know how David Knight would be able to
Survive without
Unless he had an underground shelter where it kept the stable temperature year round. That's about the only way I could think of.
Snuggled up to bears.
I mean,
Yeah, I would bet that's probably the case. Either having a very well insulated underground cave system, like a hut or a yurt.
so in Pathfinder's new core rulebook, the new core races are dwarf, elf, gnome, goblin, halfling, human, leshy, and orc.
That's awesome.
I mean, basically they just added the leshies and orcs as core
Yeah.
ancestries.
But I'm glad they did that instead of half orcs and whatnot.
I think that's
Yeah.
a lot smarter.
Well, considering half orcs are now like a versatile heritage thing that you can just take on to anyone.
Yeah, I like that. I like that though. But did you say halflings? Halflings are still on there?
Yeah, halflings. So the little small hobbit people.
Yeah,
Not half elves.
correct.
So apparently they're changing the name of changelings, which
Good.
fair.
What are they changing it to? Doppelgangers?
No, I mean like for Pathfinder, because in Pathfinder they're children of hags.
Oh, so yeah, that's the more traditional, Irish meaning of changeling.
Yeah.
So
I guess to further drive a wedge in getting people confused, like because they're coming from 5th edition, like, so do these things shapeshift? And like, no, they're hag kids.
Hagkins.
They're called I mean, that's one way to call them. Avoran? Aoran? Something like that.
Interesting.
So Tieflings and Azamar are now in now one group
Hooray!
called Nephilim.
Nice. That would be my chosen term. I dig. Children's of gods. Gods and demons.
Said Dumar. It's a Dumar.
The Dumar? That's an interesting thing. Like a
Yeah.
half dwarf?
No, they're showing an orc. It may be a new name for half elf, which I don't.
Nephilims and woozles.
Oh, I was wrong. So
Hatlings.
Avorans. So changelings are still changelings.
Okay.
I was wrong. Avorians, or however you want to say it, I don't really know how, are half elves, and the Dromar are half orcs.
Gotcha.
Which
Seems unnecessary, but whatever.
Yep. Seems like they're being a bit too cautious about that thing. So.
Oh well.
It's like how they're calling flat-footed now off guard. I was like,
Yeah.
Still flat-footed.
I've been. They had to they rewrote flat-footed in a way so that it's a condition.
Mm-hmm.
Which made me think that it's stacked, but it doesn't, because then they made it a condition that has its own special rules, and it's just like, why did you do it like this? This is very complicated. So, Bri, hello, welcome in.
Yeah, not all conditions have scaling on them, so.
Yeah. I feel like making a hybrid race should give you the original racial abilities rather than just taking the best of both. Yeah, that's generally how it should work. Because you're supposed to basically take the average of the races for their the point value and then buy back the things you want. And the problem with that is that there's a lot of ways that people can just min-max it, so it's a little boring. I generally say that you need to still take some of the feats and some of the disadvantages from both.
Don't let your cat cut off the circulation for too long.
Yeah, I think the only thing being a half elf or half orc in second edition, all it gives you is the human or whatever low light vision.
You still have sunlight sensitivity?
No, orcs don't have that anymore. So the only base thing it gives you is low light vision if you're a human. Or another race that does not have low light vision.
Gotcha. Okay.
Though if you're say, I don't know, an half elf, half orc type of deal, like parent was an orc, parent was an elf, you would have dark vision. Because apparently those combine into dark vision.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yep. And it also gives you access to the orc feats and some half orc feats that exist, or half elf feats.
My orc tiefling should get a pseudo rage that lights things on fire.
I guess. Can the orcs go into a rage? Is that what they can find me?
No.
No. That's
as far as I know.
That's what class feats are for.
Yeah.
Your tiefling barbarian could go into a rage and light things on fire. I'd be way down for that.
Yeah. Basically,
they get a bloodlust, right? Is that what it is? When they... Yeah, I'd have to look it up, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I've never really bothered looking at orcs. I just know they were kind of worse than half orcs.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Because they have the disadvantages of being an orc.
Well, no, it's even without the disadvantages, the things you got were just worse than a normal orc, half orc. Let's see here. They get aggression.
Aggression, okay.
Yep. In 5th edition. You can move up your speed towards an enemy of your choice. As a bonus action.
Okay, that's not what I thought.
Yeah,
I thought it
so
was
as a bonus action, you can charge up.
Frenzy or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it's called on Knowles. It's like a blood frenzy.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm about done with this one. Weird little... This is a good one. Little diversion from the fantasy. Do a little anime robot.
they get half-orcs get savage attacks, which, where if you score a critical hit with a melee attack, you can roll one of the damage dice an additional time, and add that damage to the critical.
3d12. Robo Booba, yeah. That's Bubblegum Crisis in a nutshell. Is Robo Booba. I might have to watch it. We'll find out. All right, let's roll some dice. We're down to a d12, so that's kind of fun. 7. Oh, I already did that one. Dang it. Drawing is amazing. Kenku. I drew the tiny Kenku already.
Yes, you did.
9. Grung Rune Knight Fighter. Looks more like a bullfrog and uses a halberd. Okay.
A bully frog.
More blue. Blue.
I don't think you put up a new...
Oh, was that the same one as last time?
Yeah, I don't think you put up a new one.
Whoops. Whoops.
Oh no, I typed in bully frog instead of just bullfrog.
Oh no, what did that do?
Apparently brought me to the kids' book.
Is a bullfrog a toad? What's the difference?
No, it's a frog.
Is a toad a toad? What's the difference between a toad and a frog?
A toad is... one lives on dry land, the other lives in the water.
Ah.
Functionally, like, they're the same, but just like subspecies.
Okay.
Basically, frogs are slimy, toads are not.
Toads give you warts. Is this an Echo Knight or a Rune Knight? I've forgotten now.
Rune Knight. So they turn into a big frog.
They have frog people in my new book. Oh, did you get the Pathfinder book finally? Drawn are pretty great. Ripley. Oh, these are monsters. Yeah, what book is this? Confused.
Looks like it's a 5e homebrew book.
Art's good.
Mm-hmm. Is it Grim Hollow or something? I don't know. Or Aurora?
Boom, 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 boom.
Those are the grung, right? Bribe things you posted. Or what are those? I can't remember. There's so many. They're all the same and all slightly different. So.
Yeah. So what Bribe posted are the grung.
Okay.
So.
The
D&D also has Gripplies.
The Gripplies, yeah.
Bullywugs.
Bullywugs. Bullywugs? I can't remember exactly what that one is.
Also Boggarts.
Yeah, which are like frog demons, right?
Kinda, or demon worshipping frogs.
Okay. I like all the pieces of this bullfrog thing I'm drawing, but oh, this is the Flea Mortals book. Got it. How do you convey size was the only thing in the drawing? Yeah, you don't. Like size is all about scale in comparison. So you can position them in a way that, like, if you draw somebody, like, you can put them in a perspective that makes them feel very big. So you can make them big in comparison to the viewer, but you're still going to lose perspective because that person could be, you know, a foot tall. I really like those little hands, but I need to change where they are and stuff. Yeah, Brian, that's perfect. Just need little guns. Wait. Jabba the Frog. Ezra are the frog demons? What's the other one? What's the big weird frog monsters that have all the different colors?
Slod.
Mm-hmm. Sloths.
Chaos Outsiders.
Yep. I always think of them as giant toads.
I always kind of saw them as lizards, but they're kind of in that weird, like, toad lizard hybrid state, so.
Yeah. Rune Knights can wear full plate, right?
Yeah, any fighter can.
Yeah, okay, good.
Grung, the xenomorphs of D&D? I think the Hive are the xenomorphs of D&D.
Hive Soldier and the Hive Queen. There's a few demons that work for xenomorphs too. This one might be Pathfinder stuff now that I'm thinking about it. Our brain only remembers Pathfinder stuff. Are Vermlik demons in D&D or Pathfinder?
What are they called?
Vermlik? Vermlik? They look like this. The giant worms. And they infect people. And then they burst out of people. I mean, well, like, they're giant worm demons. So it's very strange.
Looks like they are a Pathfinder thing.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought.
I don't like them.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're creepy. They infect people and then they turn into them, and that sucks.
Yeah, no. I'll just share the link. People can open it at their own risk. Because they are in 2nd edition.
Oh, they are? Okay, good.
Yep. They're CR, well, not really CR. Creature level 3. Oh, look, a nihilism demon.
Does it make people nihilists, or does it just not care?
I mean, it probably does. Or feeds off people's nihilism.
Okay. Rot grubs. Rot grubs do the same thing? Or do they just live in corpses? Whoosh. This one's kind of getting away from me. I think I might be getting tired. I've definitely lost some stamina after taking a few weeks off and having surgery. I'm gonna have to get back into the swing of it. Yeah, brilliant. think I'm about done with this frog boy. Not Rotgrub burrows into people and eat their hearts. Ah, terrible encounter. Gotcha. Yeah, you definitely don't want to just like throw diseases at your players if they have no means of fixing them, because that just kills people. I need to get the hobby lobby. I need flesh paint? Oh. I need to go buy some orange paint and some wood. Grimes from Amphibia? Yeah, that would be good. I should have used that as a reference. Bullfrog. Bullfrog's pretty funny. Oh, that's from, Bullfrog is from Star vs. the Forces of Evil. They're all the same. Disney shows. They're all funny. Amphibia was good though. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call this one. I'm gonna go move on to the next one. Probably do one more. Well, maybe get two more, but I think I'm kind of running out of steam here. A 6. What do we got? Your classic dwarven battle rager. Barbarian wielding a mug and a chair. Battle raging dwarf. I like it. Durr. Draw some durr. Boop, boop. Okay. I'm gonna paint Christmas ornaments in multiple flesh paint colors and eye colors. Put them around the office. Nice. That actually sounds pretty good. If you want to get a cool effect, if you get the clear Christmas ornaments and then put the paint on the inside for the like the white. If you're using white, if you're gonna do flesh, that might be a little different. But it gives you a little bit of parallax because of the glass. So white on the inside, then paint the skin tones on the outside and the black eye dot on the outside. Might work. Might work. Battle Rager. Holding a mug and a chair, eh?
What are we drunk?
A battle rager with a mug and a chair.
Oh. Is that a reference to something?
Don't know. They said classic, so I assume it's just they have a brawler barbarian that uses mugs.
I was gonna say the classic Battle Rager looks like the Rhino Man from Spider-Man.
Oh yeah? You have a big metal helmet?
Crazy. Back when only dwarves could be Battle Ragers.
Did you just like cover them in armor and then send them out?
Yeah, they would hug people to death.
Gotcha. Let's do it.
Because they got like access to special spiked armor.
Spiked armor is a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's more spiky than I had anticipated.
Yeah. See, like I said, it looks like a dwarf version of the Rhino Man.
Yeah.
Who may just be called the Rhino?
He is just Rhino, yeah. Which has had many, many iterations. Most of which have just been a guy in a rhino suit. And then I think in the new ones they give him like a big robotic suit, which is weird.
I think I remember watching, it was probably a late 90s Spider-Man, where he gets teleported somewhere into the distant future where all his animal-themed villains are like actual animals. So the Vulture is like this winged vulture dude. And I think Rhino was a rhino.
Interesting. Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about shoot. Spider-Man. What the hell is it called? It might have been like Spider-Man 20 something something.
2099?
Something like that, yeah. He had like a nano suit.
Oh. Apparently Spider-Man 2099 is Miguel.
Yeah.
Not what I was thinking.
He's pretty close to the... Future Shock Spider-Man? Yeah, Spider-Man 2099, I think was the... Spider-Man Unlimited, there we go. Love me some Spider-Man.
Spider-Pig? Spider-Pig.
The guy doesn't have a beard. Suppose you don't want to get grabbed for don't want your beard to get trapped in all the spikes.
So never leave hair unattended where it can be grabbed in a fight.
Yep.
That's what Avatar The Last Airbender taught me. Now I know why that particular Spider-Man stuck out. Because the suit reminded me of Batman Beyond.
Yeah, no, it was definitely in response to that. Like, I was very much a thing executives thought people wanted.
I mean, I liked it.
Yeah.
From what I remember seeing it.
There was also like the RoboCop, where RoboCop went into the future, and then Sherlock Holmes went into the future. Spider-Man went into the future.
So RoboCop went even more into the future.
Mm-hmm. They just like reactivated him in sci-fi future. I mean, even the Ninja Turtles. I think the Ninja Turtles started it. A lot of their storyline was them going into the future.
I was gonna say, I feel like also it probably wasn't that big of an influence, but I feel like people who worked on the show probably worked on those other shows.
Yeah.
You remember the show called SWAT Cats?
SWAT Cats? I don't remember SWAT Cats.
It was kind of crazy. But yeah, I feel like people who worked on it went to other studios after it got scrapped.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Because I know that one of the writers went and worked on the first Scooby-Doo movie, which was the first newest Scooby-Doo movie on Zombie Island. And like the whole plot is like taken from Johnny Quest and SWAT Cats, which is hilarious.
SWAT Cats was intense.
I had demon cats everywhere.
At what point does Spider-Man's world just mirror the TMNT world? Well, the TMNT world is actually, I think, DC adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
So never. SWAT Cats is awesome.
I think
I
it's.
really like the villains.
I think it's also Power Rangers adjacent as well.
Yeah. Which is also DC adjacent.
Mm-hmm. Though, Spider-Man specifically is My Hero Academia adjacent.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the Gravity Girl
Mm-hmm.
in one of the cover arts for one of the Spider-Man comics that came out somewhat recently. She was in it.
Oh, that's funny.
As one of the Spider people. I don't know the term that you give to the group of Spider heroes.
Like the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, I guess that's the
That's-
term.
Yeah, that term's older than the movies, but yeah.
Well, I know. It just Spider-Verse seems more like the setting and not like the group of heroes.
Okay, gotcha. Terry McGinnis is the most Spider-Man of all Batmans. I could agree with that. He's very Ben Parker, which is also great. Which I'm glad they put. I'm glad they put Ben in the new movie. I thought that was really funny. He's just a weird, whiny edgelord.
I like Spider Noir.
Spider Noir is pretty good.
Hunting down Nazis.
Yep. To each their own comics. Spider Noir just wanted to be as cool as Dick Tracy, but it had to be stealthy with that yellow trench coat. It works out. Yeah. I knew very little about Dick Tracy until the movie came out. The movie was silly.
It was very much kind of like a parody of like the film noir movies. God, I just came back to the stream and I was not expecting this.
This is the spiky dwarf.
Oh god. It's just like it looked like he killed Sonic the Hedgehog and just glued the corpse to his body.
It's close enough.
We decided on what we're playing tomorrow. I haven't looked at
I
that.
won't be here tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I mean, y'all have options.
I'll have to look.
Yep.
I'll have to look. I really want to make the Wand Slinger. I think that would be really fun. I've not yet decided on a actual character for him yet, though. It's all been numbers.
Let's say y'all have the Earth Elemental thing. You got a Knuckle of V quest, Hounds of Tindalos, and a Faring quest. Ooh. Scared me.
Artificer, make your own wand storage, bracer, and wands. It's not a bad idea. That is something that I was struggling with Pathfinder. Pathfinder doesn't really have an option for like quick summoning a wand, because like having a wand magically appear in your hand takes an action, but so does just drawing a wand out. So it's like,
Yep.
Whatever.
Is there not a Wand Bandolier, or has that not been made over?
I don't, not yet. I was looking at something like looking for a feat like quick draw. John, welcome in, by the way. Which lets you draw your weapon and shoot it at the same time.
Yeah.
But apparently that doesn't work with wands, because of the spell component of the wand, you basically have to draw it and then use whatever points you want to cast the spell anyways. So it's like,
Yeah.
so it might be worth using like which is why I want to do the thaumaturge, because then you get the wand that just like pew shoot stuff.
Yep.
And then when that's on cooldown, you can essentially use your last action to draw the wand you want to shoot next round, and then go. You're just basically going to be like one round behind. For most actions.
Because like thaumaturge, if you're going to be using like their stuff, really the first round is probably your most intensive for actions, because you're needing to do the like recall knowledge check on them too.
Which could be good, because then you know what they're weak against, and then you just use that wand.
Yep.
So, I think it'd work. It would work. He's supposed to have a chair. Maybe he's real big. Maybe it's a big chair or a tiny chair. I'm back. I just have to say, artificers, go someone that doesn't want to play a fantasy game. Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the artificer in 5e. A wand multi-tool that allows you to select which wand you want. Homebrew it. 6 wand storage. I mean, I can homebrew a whole bunch of stuff. I would just basically use the gunslinger exactly as it is, but use wands instead. Like, that would be my favorite way to do it.
Just make like I don't know, something akin to like, probably would have to be a pepper box, because then you could set to whichever wand you want.
Wand of magic missile does force damage, so basically a gun. Yeah. That's why I don't understand why the gunslinger doesn't have more wand feats. Like drawing and quick drawing a wand just seems like a no-brainer. But
Because gunslingers don't have magic.
yeah. No, I just mean like the flavor of a gunslinger I think works really well for a wand. Someone that uses wands. If you're not like, if you don't cast spells inherently, you just wield wands. I think that works out really well. There's an element of Dungeons and Dragons that is heavily inspired by psychedelics. It's a flat out art mimic from Doctor Strange at the north of the hobby. I don't understand that sentence. An art mimicking from Doctor Strange at the north of the hobby. I'm very confused about that. I agree. At some point, guns is to have the ranged prowess of particular wizards without magical knowledge. Point of guns is to have the ranged prowess. I mean, you can do the same thing with a crossbow. I think the firearms argument for 5e doesn't make sense because of the way 5e works. Like, essentially, the 5e gunslinger is just a crossbow bandolier. And it's really boring. But like having it be its own class in Pathfinder makes way more sense when you have a touch AC, so that guns are inherently different. Gunslinger's a class wand slinger. Yeah, like that's what I think would work the best. And I think they had one in first edition, but I'm not sure. Magic works because fantasy world, same person. You can't use firearms because they weren't available to the 14th century in real life. Yeah, I think guns are fine to put in D&D, and I think like you can have magical gunpowder if you want. You can have magical bullets. I think that's really fun. Like it's totally fine. It's just like the inherently in 5e, the game has been so simplified that there is no difference between a gun and a crossbow and a magic bolt anymore. So it's just a little too bland. But I like Wand of Magic Missile. Sorry, go ahead, Corvus.
I was just going to say that you can make the same argument for second edition Pathfinder as well.
Yeah.
Because guns and crossbows are essentially the same.
Interchangeable, yeah. And the gunslinger even has specific things if you just want to use a crossbow. Yep. Which is fine. Like I said, I think that's fine. But at the same time, like, they changed the way wands worked too. So it's like, I get why they don't want to do that, because then it is very much you can't reload your gun. You fire it once and then you can't use it for the rest of the day. Which is where I think like
throw it away.
Yeah, which is where I think like the quick draw would be really cool, but it'd probably be too powerful. So who knows? The major issue is how you make guns distinct from crossbows without making them better. They should be better. I mean, like that's inherently my argument. Yeah. They can be more powerful. You can have multiple chambers. Like you either have to like really fiddle with like repeating crossbows, or just take into account like range. Like no one needs a weapon with a 1,800 meter range. Period. In D&D, like you shouldn't be fighting things at that range. So the guns are just unnecessary. But I do, like in older editions, more expensive. The bullets were really expensive. The gunpowder was more expensive. The failure rate on the gun was interesting to me. I really liked that aspect of it. but being able to do all the stuff like guns not worrying about like range increments, because like shooting in range or butting people with them, like there was a lot of fun stuff for the gunslinger that I think is still very viable, but it doesn't have as much of a potency when all of a sudden the bullets don't have any different like mechanical difference than an arrow.
Yeah. Like the only thing that really like a gun does better than like say a crossbow or something like that most of the time is the fact that all firearms have a exception of like 2 or 3 have a critical die increase.
Yeah. And yeah, John, if you're only talking about like the old the black powder muskets and stuff, yeah, I don't think they're not as fun to me. Like having a like a blunderbuss, that can be fine. Like that works out for, you probably don't reload that in combat, but you could. Versus like having a revolver, which I usually, whenever people play gunslingers in my games, I usually give them revolvers and stuff, because I think it's more fun to, like, you can shoot 6 times and you got to keep track of it. And it's like, oh, and then they have to do that. So I like that kind of stuff. Pepper boxes are fun too, but really it should take a round per chamber of a pepper box. So that sucks. Yeah, I think I'm about done here. I'm really running on fumes.
Or just 3 actions in 2nd edition.
Is the pepper box, is it 3 or is it 6 chambers?
It's 3. There's a special one that has 4 chambers. And then there is the barricade buster that has 8 chambers, but it's a orc weapon.
Interesting. Yeah, I think the things with wands for me, like in older editions, in like Pathfinder specifically, the wands were meant to be disposable, high capacity magic items. So you could get a wand with like 50 charges on it, and then when it ran out, and that was it. It was just a consumable magical item. And now they've made it so that they're highly reusable, and you're supposed to have like an arsenal of them. It's basically an extra spell slot per day of use, which is interesting. But the other addition to that is that as long as you could cast a spell on that spell list, you can get a spell slot of it for a little bit of gold. So it's like, that's the interesting part to me, is like, I'm a gunslinger that can now cast this spell. And it's like, oh, cool. So it's just a matter of figuring out the rest of that class to kind of get the options to do it. Will it be optimal? Probably not, but it'll be interesting.
So as long as you have the trick magic item, if you're not a caster.
Yeah, so you could just take the feat to do it, but then you're having to roll to succeed with it every time. And I'm less interested in that versus trying to find a way to make it feasible.
Well, what I mean is, like, if you're a non-caster, that's the only way you can use wands.
You're correct. Yeah. I wouldn't want to build the character around that feature, is what I was saying. So if you did go the gunslinger, you could just do that, take the feat. But I don't think that would be super fun. Because then you're always in combat, just like, I hope I can do this, which could be a cool character. I don't want to play it. So, who knows?
Because you could... I definitely think you could, like, I think with the class you picked with Thaumaturge, I think that's probably the best class, like, to do that, because they get access to basically all spells in the form of their scroll crafting thing, which I personally would allow anyone, like, you can use all wands.
Yep, I think that's a good way to do
I don't think that is game breaking. Considering it's just a one-time use deal until it recharges.
In my opinion, the highest tech that makes sense for a fantasy Europe setting is a black powder revolver. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it that way, that's fine. I don't usually do fantasy Europe settings. I rarely go into, like, this is a town with a big castle in it, but that could just be me. I usually do more like countryside barracks and stuff. But I mean, if you're going, I guess it really depends on what your weaponry style is and your campaign setting. Can unload 6 shots quickly, but it's very powerful, but it doesn't finish things. Gotta give it a safe spot to reload. Let's say you have 6 shots. You need to spend an action to reload unless you have a specific feat. Maybe it has a chance of chain fire in that one. So that's how the guns work in Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Except instead of chain firing, then that one makes it break and jams, and so you have to spend an action to unjam it. Every box is basically a revolver instead of just chambers. Yeah.
Way the misfire works now is when you use certain feats that give you like a special attack. If you critically fail, you can get a misfire. But like, basically the only real way of getting it is like if you don't say you're taking care of your gun, like if you don't clean it for the day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
My
So
brain's fried.
If you're like in a dungeon run and you don't get the chance to like sit down and prepare and clean the gun, the GM is supposed to like keep track of like that somehow arbitrarily. Yeah, it's.
I like the idea that like there's a lot of stuff like that, like mud. You don't take mud into account. But like fumbling your weapons and just general upkeep and repair of your weapons, I think it's an interesting idea, but it's tedious, and so that's why it's not as fun. But like Kevin the Necromancer loves that kind of stuff, so he'll have people like after combat, he's like, how many times did you attack? Cool, this is how much degradation your weapon has taken. And then after a while, like they degrade a little bit, and you have to get them repaired. So if you're having a problem in a game where like your players have too much money and nothing to spend it on, that kind of resource management I think can be interesting.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just extra busy work.
I think my biggest issue with the gunslinger, in a way, is like if you want like special ammo, you might as well be selling your soul to the devil to just be able to afford some of it. It's really expensive.
So there's a problem with that in 5e. Like the dragon slaying arrow costs like 2,000 gold or something for one arrow. It's like, that sucks. That's not fun.
Yeah.
And in Pathfinder, what they used to do was like, if you wanted to craft an arrow, you would or a magical arrow, you'd pay for all of like have to make it +1, and then you have to make it magical, so it's like 2,000 gold, and then that's per stack of arrows. So you would enchant an entire bundle, which is like 50, I think. And it's like, that feels a little better because then it's like 100 to 200 gold per shot. But even then, it's like there's still a chance to like get it back unless it explodes or something. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Where if you shoot a dragon arrow at a dragon in the sky, it's like where'd the arrow go? It's like you have no fucking clue what's going on. So yeah, I don't know. Yep. By that logic, you should have to stop sharpening your swords. What is that? What? Why would you stop sharpening your swords? I'd say you should have to sharpen. I mean, yeah, because like with the I like adding that into my games too. I'll give people like sharpening stones as magical weapons or magical items. I think some of them exist in 5e, but they give you like a +1 to hit as long as you apply it before combat or something. So just fun little stuff like that like keeps track of things.
Gives your players a little bit of extra oomph if they need it. It can be fun. It can be fun. But yeah, the whole thing about firearms is kind of a moot point, anyways. Because if you're in a world where people can just disintegrate you, a
repeating crossbow is also deadly. Who knows? Who knows? But the other way I balance it out is if your players want to use guns, they're probably going to run into other gunslingers, and that's fine.
Like, it works out. Once again, don't be lazy as a DM. You can make things work. It's not hard.
Yeah, I mean, my gunslinger is trying to be a monster hunter.
Yeah,
gunslinger.
I do. The one thing I will say in like defense of 5e and Pathfinder 2nd edition is
like, if once again damage is not hit point damage is not damage, right? So someone firing a gun at you and it doing like a D4 damage does not mean you shot them, right? Like it's a glancing blow. It's putting pressure on them to make them worse at fighting. Like the concussive force of it, that's why I do like you were saying with the deadly criticals. Like if you do hit someone with a gun, they should take a lot of damage from it. So, and that's why like usually in older editions it bypassed armor. It gave broken conditions. I think it still does in second edition. That's something you can do. Just try to like just to do damaging shots. And that was something I liked with the first edition gunslinger was all of the trick shots of just like shooting things out of people's hands or opening doors or cauterizing wounds. It's just like that kind of stuff is fun. I think that's what I like about the gunslinger is their grit. So
sadly that all that stuff like disarming something sucks in second edition because they can just pick up their weapon.
Yeah, the action economy is definitely a different thing, which is kind of why I like the Battle Lancer because of the finishing combos. Like it makes sense that you try to do things and then like as my last action, I'm going to try to screw them up a little bit. And it's just like, cool. I like it. So there's lots of options to do that. I think it's fun. So definitely worth looking into more. Definitely worth playing more Pathfinder stuff. Yeah. Traveling merchant with dubious magic items can change that. I've never played a game where you had too much gold. Interesting. Yeah. No, I've had that quite a few times as a player.
Right now, I feel like we have too much gold. I don't know what to spend it on.
Yeah. Because there's like
do I buy a house?
Yeah, exactly. There's a gap between like low level when you're like just don't have any gold, and then you hit a certain level and it's like I can't afford the 30,000 gold upgrade for my armor. And then once you can, you're like, I only need one of those, and now what do I spend my other 30,000 gold on? So it feels like there's a tipping point of being broke, and then just having too much money. I don't agree with that. I'm not sure what you're talking about. If there were a case, damage would never scale up. Everything would just do a percentage of your health. Well, I mean, you're getting stronger as things scale up. So, I mean, that's the way I describe that. That is how Gygax wrote Matt. Like, the only hit point that matters is the last one. You are at 100% fighting capable until you lose your last hit point, and then you're unconscious. So, otherwise, you have to go into things like stamina. There's a few stamina systems out there that work pretty well for that. Or like people taking, whenever you get hit, you see where you got hit. I've seen a few systems of that where actually your armor takes damage first before you take physical damage.
I think Starfinder uses a stamina system.
Yeah, Starfinder does.
Normal action stuff.
And that's like, I think they have like plasma weapons and stuff that do different damage to like mitigate shielding and stuff like that. Like it gets a lot more complicated. But that's why. Like, that's why that's there. So essentially, as long as you have one hit point, you are still able to fight. So like, are you saying that you got stabbed 45 times and then like, yeah, I make them bleed every round. You bleed for 35 minutes, then you lose that last hit point. Like it's a weird thing. I'm a wizard. I can bend reality to my whim, destroy entire armies. All allow it, fighter. I want to shoot my gun. Denied, unbalanced. Exactly, yeah. Like disintegration and like what is it? Power word death, or is it power word kill? Yeah. Like if that's not just a wizard gun, I don't know what is. I think that's it. So
Finger of Death.
Yeah, Finger of Death is another good one. 5e rules the rings true. However, the idea of the train adventurer gets lucky their entire career. I mean, you're telling a story. Like, that's the thing about fantasy, right? Like, if you follow the story of the main character who just keeps getting away with stuff, like Deus Ex style, yeah, that's a good story. Versus the guy next to them that dies in the first 5 minutes. Like, that's not a good story. So, your character should be barely scraping by the entire time. Otherwise, it's boring. So, who knows? Can you draw Wyoming? I can't last beanbender. I'm so sorry. I'm about to call it. We just finished up this dwarven spiky boy. And I think we're going to call it for the day. It's 1:52. I'm losing my voice just because I'm so tired. Thanks for hanging out today, everybody. That's all I got. Wyoming is your favorite wizard? Save it for next week. Put it on the chat for next week, and we'll draw it then. But other than that, that's all I have. Thanks for hanging out today. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. We'll get you next time. Thanks, everybody. Bye.